Hi, my name is Angela. In this video, I'm going to be talking about how I work up a program or what I do to kind of evaluate a program that I'm interested in for residency training. So currently I'm a PGY1 resident in an ambulatory care track type of residency program. I thought it'd be helpful since this is like interview season and times where people are thinking about different programs and evaluating them to go through what I consider to be my process, and I'm going to try and make it similar to how you'd work with a patient, just because I think that's the best way to describe it. How do you evaluate a program and look at it from all different sides? And so personally, it can get really, you can kind of get in a rabbit hole when you're starting to look at all the different programs, websites, and people, and all the different things and what residents have done. So I set a timer. And say I'm not going to spend any more than 20-25 minutes just doing research on this program because it keeps me on track. You know, the more programs you look at, and it can kind of get a little long. So I remember my fourth year of pharmacy school going into PGY1 interviews, I wrote everything down. Then this year I've typed everything. And so it just has changed. I don't know which one's better, but whatever's most efficient for you. Sometimes I remember things better when I write them down, so it just really can vary, but both are fine. And so I will kind of go through the sheet I made this year when I typed everything up, what I had. So I had the name really big on the top. I had the RPD's name and their email if I wanted to. And then I would put links. That was a really useful thing, I think, because I would have these lists of the websites, but instead I would put a link that would say website, have the ASHP website and the organization's website, maybe a link for the residents only page or the preceptors only page. So any videos that I would send, virtual tours, since it's a virtual environment, just all linked on that one page. And since it was on the internet, it was very easy to access. And so then I went into things that I really liked. What were my anchors? When people ask you why are you coming to this program, I would put that at top. What did I love? Did I love the AmCare rotations? Did I love the teaching opportunities? Did I love the people? Were the staffing models that they had there what I liked or what I could manage? So then I had that section. Then I had a what I'm hesitant about or what I have questions about, things that worry me, red flags, things that I'm just unsure about. I would put that in its own section, broken up in the similar way as the what I like. And then, I would have another section, just what do I have questions on? And it's really, I didn't go super in depth because I have a general question list, which I think I talked about in another video, of just questions you can ask a program because they're going to ask you to ask them questions. This is more specific to that program, what do they individually have that others don't, that I want more answers about. So that's kind of the three sections. And then my last one was on just general things. And so I called it, the other category. And I would talk about specific people I would talk to at these programs, because you're gonna meet a lot of people and it can get really confusing and you can forget. So I would put the person, where I met them. I try to include their credentials, were they RPD, were they board certified, were they in a specific area, specific type of clinic. And then I would also put things that related to the program, which I think I've talked in another video, but how many spots are there? Are people early committing or not? That's a PGY2 thing that I was interested in knowing. What's the start date? What's the salary? How many schools of pharmacy are they affiliated with, if they are affiliated with some, and other schools of allied health, some school of medicine, school of nursing, because that was my interest with teaching. When was the deadline? That was in red, application deadline. And I also was curious to know when year the program started, so how old they were, just because I had valued programs that have been doing it for a while, and so that was of interest to me. I think it's good to know when the program started and where they're at. If you're a resident going into it, you just kind of know what you're going into. And then rotations I was really interested in, or similar to what I liked, maybe a couple examples that I was I can't wait to go to this rotation if I match here. So the next question, this is kind of how I worked up a program. The next question is well, when should you do this? So if you're pretty sure that you want to meet with this program or talk with them, you've done a little bit of research, either, before mid-year or before PPS or PPM, if you're PGY2 searching, I would just, do it as soon as you can and just get it out of the way, because otherwise you maybe won't want to do it. But I think it's useful to know the program, that you can ask very good questions, and so that in the interview they can tell that you kind of know who they are. I think it does go a long way. So before is good. Don't just do it right before, because you might not have time, because even though you set those timers, you may not be able to find all the information very easily. I would say though that there's benefit to doing it soon, closer to your interview. When I was going into PGY1 interviews, I would do the prep way early and then just kind of refresh myself. now, PGY1 going into PGY2 interviews, I am basically doing it the day or two before, and I think it's really helped me be more current in my thoughts and my answers and my questions. So, you know, both different approaches worked, but just something to think about, similar to studying for a test. And then soon after you interview with the program or after you talk to them, you want to try and write things down pretty quickly. I would say like 48 hours is a general timeline because you're probably going to forget something that they said. And so I like writing my thank you emails or thank you notes soon after to remember things. I write down details during the interview. I don't spend an excessive amount of time doing that, but I think it's okay. It shows that you're trying to remember things and you're interested and you're not just letting it go in one ear and out the other. And so just save them, you know, nearby for whenever you're doing your rank list or whenever you're writing your thank you emails, save your notes. So I think that this method is helpful because I would have a sheet for each program, you know, front and back or whatever. And even if I typed it or I wrote it out, it just helped me kind of look at the program holistically and look at all the different components and the things that I cared about. And so I think that as I've gone into PGY2 interviews, it's become less busy because I kind of know what I want and it's less writing that I have to do. PGY1 year, I definitely had a lot more things because you just do a lot PGY1 year and it's very varied, so you have a lot of things to write down. But I think that aside from, you know, the kind of things that I've mentioned here, other residency videos that I've done are really helpful, but this is just kind of maybe from front to back how I would look at a program and how I would kind of keep track of what aspects I liked, what I didn't like, just different things. So hopefully that was helpful. If you have any questions, please put them in the comment box below. Like the video if you liked it. If you have any other video ideas, please let me know. Otherwise, I'll see you guys next week.